everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alex and I share everything from thrifting to traveling to Disney to junk journaling to crafting, all of the things in between. And I'm so excited that you're here because I just got back from Aspen, Colorado. Technically I got back from Snowmass, that's where we stayed, but we visited Aspen a lot. And I didn't know anything about Aspen. I still feel like I don't know a lot about Aspen. I went with my boyfriend's family. I did not ski, but I did go exploring and that was really cool. I thought it would be really fun to show you different clips of Aspen while I do a junk journal page and kind of like recap the trip that way. I didn't do like a proper vlog, but that's okay. I'm really excited to showcase my trip this way. This is kind of like my diary, just sharing this memory in a different way. I think is really exciting. Yeah, there was a lot that happened at Aspen. We had kind of a rocky travel experience on the way there and then also on the way back, but I'm really excited to kind of dig into that and show you all about that. But first, before we start, I have to show you, I got this journal and it has like one of these things on it. It has chickens. It has chickens. That was the whole reason I wanted to get it. It has chickens with flowers on it and I just had to get it. So this is like a brand new journal and I'm really excited to start it off with my trip to Aspen. So let's go ahead and just get on into it. So I have a bunch of maps. Here I have my cookie wrapper, luggage tags, another place that we went to. I've got a postcard. So essentially we have to put it all together. I'm not really sure where to start. It might take me some time to map it out, but I did think it would be fun to use the inside of this envelope. On our way to the airport, my boyfriend got very car sick. We didn't know if we were going to end up going or if that we would like make the flight because we just didn't know. He just really was not feeling super great. He was able to rally and we almost missed the flight, but we got there just in time. And we took American Airlines, and honestly, my experience with them, I'd never flown with them before. I didn't really know what to expect. I don't know if this is like a universal experience, but it was interesting. We went to DTW. We were going to go, we had a connecting flight in Chicago, so we made it to Chicago. Thankfully, we made it there just fine. But it was like, the flight was under an hour, and it was, the plane was like 2x2, so there was like 2 seats here and 2 seats there, rather than like the typical 3 one. And we made it to Chicago fine. I thought we were gonna have like a bigger flight for the second flight. I was wrong. We ended up having the same style of plane, except this one was like jam-packed. We were all the way in the back by the toilet, as well as the plane had some issues. The flight attendant said that they had requested a different aircraft, but they were denied that. And so we were by the bathroom, and one of the overhead compartments did not work. It was broken. And the toilet also wouldn't flush. They had to give us a big water bottle, and you had to use, every person had to use that when they were going to go use the bathroom, because like the toilet wouldn't flush, so you had to like put water on like your toilet paper to have it go down. Interesting experience. The flight was interesting, but we made it to Aspen, and that airport was super small, very cute when we got there. When we left, it wasn't so cute because it was so jam-packed, but we got to Aspen. My boyfriend's aunt picked us up, and she had like these hats for all of us, which was really cool. And as soon as we got there, it was just like mountains everywhere. Something I was like super nervous Something I was super nervous about was getting altitude sickness. I was just like really afraid one of us was gonna get it. I definitely thought it was gonna be me. I was very fortunate to not get altitude sickness, but I will say it was kind of at times difficult to breathe. You had to like really focus on your breathing and like prioritize that, which was just something I was not expecting. But after we left the airport, we stayed at his aunt's family, like it was like a family friend, I guess you could say. I don't know what else to call it. But we stayed in Snowmass. This is what I'm looking for. And while we were there, we had lunch, and then we knew we needed to go in town so that the people that were skiing could grab their rental skis and get that kind of all taken care of. So we went to Snowmass, got the rental skis. I did not ski, like I said. I'm very clumsy. I've never skied in my life. I don't know if it would have gone well. I did try cross-country skiing. I will get to that. And then from there, we walked around Snowmass. They have something that I think is really cool. They have this bus system that has these buses that take you, like their public transportation is amazing. And it was all free, but you can take it all across Snowmass Village, and then you can also take buses from like Snowmass to Aspen. I think you can even take it to Glenwood. We didn't go to Glenwood because we just like didn't know what we wanted to do, really. Anyway, we took the buses to Snowmass, got all of the things. Then we walked around Snowmass, and they had free s'mores. They had like these s'mores carts. It was so exciting. I love s'mores, like with a passion. And they had these s'mores carts that started at 3:30, and if you didn't get there in time, then like you missed out. They only had like a set number of s'mores that they could give out each day. We had unfortunately missed that time, and so like we were walking around these different shops, and that was where I found the hat. That's like where the hat obsession started. Was we went into this store, and they had like these really cute, I don't know what to call them, but like Western cowboy type hats that basically everybody in Aspen was wearing and in Snowmass was wearing. They were really cute, and I really wanted one, but I couldn't find the exact one that I wanted. I just like didn't know really what I wanted, and I feel like I didn't have enough time to figure it out either. I did not get a hat, but I did go inside that store a lot because I was trying to figure out if I wanted that one, you know what I mean? And so that was when afterwards we stumbled across free ice skating, which was really exciting because I wanted to do that for sure. I do like to ice skate. I'm not like the best at it, but I do very much enjoy it. We went ice skating, and that was really fun. We had a blast. It was just kind of the best. And I think I'm gonna put, no, I don't like this one. I want this. I want to have it like this. Let's see if I can put it underneath of there. After ice skating, we were starving, so we left to go eat. We had dinner. We were all pretty tired because our flight in the morning had left at like, I think it left at like 6 or 7 in the morning. It was really pretty early, and that was Michigan time, and Colorado is 2 hours behind Michigan. So we had like a little bit of a time change. I didn't think it would really impact us that much, but I was tired. So we all decided to kind of call it quits early that night. I had been doing just fine with like the altitude sickness. I didn't think I was gonna have like much. I didn't think it would bother me. But that night it was super hard to sleep. Like I couldn't fall asleep because I was really afraid that like I don't know how to describe it, but during the day I could tell myself, like I could remind myself to take deep breaths and like get more oxygen because we were at 8,000-ish feet above sea level. So I hardly slept the first night because I just like didn't know. I didn't know how to calm down. I knew I would be tired the first day, and I was. So it is what it is. We still had a lot of fun because the next day we went to, there was a recreation center in Snowmass, and they had, it was pretty small, but I didn't mind. I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. There was an outdoor pool with a hot tub and a lap pool, and I don't really do like lap pool stuff, so I went in the pool, the regular pool, and it was like 90 degrees. It was so nice and warm. It was beautiful. I loved it. And then my boyfriend's mom, she did laps, so we just kind of like hung out there in the morning while everybody else went skiing. And then we knew we were gonna go exploring, so we were at the pool for a while, I would say. I don't know which one I want to do. So we were there for like a while, actually like a couple hours. Let's see. After we got done at the rec center, we went to, there's this place called the Park and Ride, and essentially it's just like a bus station. You had to take like a different set of buses, and when we got there we had no idea how to use it, so like that was a learning curve, but I was like super proud of myself for figuring out how to do it because I am somebody who gets lost pretty often, and I was like really nervous about getting lost. And so we were at the Park and Ride, and while we were waiting for our bus we had to use the bathroom because one of the ways to help like avoid altitude sickness is to drink a lot of water, like to just stay really hydrated. And I was drinking like so much water, it was insane. And because of that, I had to use the bathroom. And so they had these porta potties that were there, and the porta potties were so gross. Like they smelled really bad, but I mean it's like a porta potty, so like what else was I to expect? Anyways, it was really funny. But then we got on our bus to go to Aspen. We actually saw all of these different mountain ranges. We didn't really know what they were called while we were there. We went past the airport. We took like this Highway 82. So actually right here where it says, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Brush Creek Park and Ride. That's where we parked. And then from there we took Highway 82 all the way into town, into downtown Aspen. There's the chapel. And then we went into the city of Aspen over here, which was really a very pretty ride. It only took like, honestly, the longest time that it took was just to stop everywhere because the bus had to stop at a bunch of different places to pick people up and drop them off and everything. So that was honestly the part that just like took the longest. When we got into town, my boyfriend's mom really wanted to go to this thing called Hotel Jerome because she had heard that there was like ghost tours, and we are people that believe in ghosts. And so she had been like reading up on it. She was super excited about it. But unfortunately, the guy that like typically does the tours only does them on like specific days. And he only does them on specific days. The day that we went into town like on a Wednesday, I think. And while we were there, he doesn't typically do them on Wednesdays. And then when we came back in Thursday, he wasn't doing them at all. So we missed out completely on the ghost tours, but that's okay. But we did go to this place called the Explorer Booksellers and Bistro, and that was really cute, which is where I got this postcard. This was the Aspen's Wheeler Opera House. I don't know if this is a picture picture or a painting. If I'm being honest, I can't really tell. I think it's a picture. It says that it got restoration in 1984. But I wanted to pick that up and make sure that I had it for a souvenir. And I'm actually going to write on the back of it just a couple of quick memories. Okay, so I found out that this smudges. So I just put some tape on this to make sure that it doesn't do that. So we were there. We were at the bookstore. I'm forgetting where I left off. Oh no, I'm running out of my washi tape. I found some backup washi tape. Not exactly the color I want, but it'll do the job. So, we were at the bookstore, then after the bookstore, we just like did some exploring. Something we really wanted to do was to go to the thrift store. We're big thrift store people. We had heard about the thrift store there, and quite honestly, I was a little bit disappointed in it. I also like wasn't feeling the best. That's like when I started to get kind of warm, and I also started to get like a little bit of altitude sickness while we were there, because like we were doing so much walking and like we were by the mountains and everything, and like we didn't really know what we wanted to do while we were there. Something else I was not anticipating while we were there was that the carry-ons, because the plane was so small, they had to take your carry-ons instead of putting them like up above. They had to give you this valet ticket, and then from there they put it underneath the plane. I was not expecting that. So if you ever fly American and it's like a really small flight, expect them to put it underneath the cabin. By the time we were done in Aspen, they were getting done with snowboarding and skiing, so we went back to the house. We all ate together, kind of like chilled out, and then we decided to go back to the rec center, but we brought everybody with us this time because there was going to be a hot tub, except when we got there, and after we paid for their passes, the hot tub was down, so we couldn't use the hot tub, so we were kind of like bummed out about that. The pool was still like really warm, and it was really fun. Oh gosh, I'm so indecisive when it comes to these things. And we went back to the house. I ended up sleeping better that night. I think that was the night somebody had heard the coyotes. I didn't hear the coyotes that night, but somebody else did. Wonder if this will work. I can take these off. Oop, nope, that's not gonna work. Okay. That was a fail. Ah, my glue. All right. Had some technical difficulties there. Oh, good. One of the dots stayed on. Fantastic. Then the next day, we did more exploring again. I'm trying to remember. I think we went to Aspen first thing in the morning. We understood the bus system this time. That morning we went to Paradise Bakery, which is this over here. And the Paradise Bakery was super good. It had like typical bakery things, but what I really wanted was they had gelato there, which was super good. And I got peanut butter chocolate. And then I also got, it was like blue crunch monster. I don't know, it was super good. But it was also very, very sweet. So I actually could not finish mine, which I was kind of like bummed about because it was Aspen, so yeah, it was expensive. Which I think was something that I learned was that, and something that I didn't know, was how expensive Aspen was. I was not prepared. I didn't know anything about Aspen until right before we were leaving. It was just like really interesting to see the way that people dressed there and kind of like the expectation there. Like, I felt very out of place there, if I'm being honest. I did not feel like I belonged there. But, I mean, it was still like a place that I wanted to go and see. And so I don't know, like that part was just kind of hard and kind of weird at the same time, because like you could tell by like the prices that were there. We went into, for example, we went into like this Ralph Lauren store, and I'm probably even saying that wrong. Is it like Ralph Lauren? I have no idea. Because we wanted to see the Olympic USA outfits. We were like not dressed the way that the people were dressed when they walked into that store. Everybody was still like really friendly and everything, but I just like definitely felt out of place. Yeah, it was still just like, I don't know, it was like a really interesting experience. I'll just say that. After we left that store, we were actually looking for the art museum. We went to the art museum, and it was like 3 different levels. I couldn't really take pictures inside of there, but like we took pictures outside and then like up top and everything, and that was really cool. There were these really interesting exhibits there. I don't know, I like art. Sometimes like I don't always like get it, but like the pieces that they had there, the exhibits that they had there were really cool, and we stayed there for quite a long time. And then after we left there, we came back, we had lunch, and then we met up with everybody, and we went to Snowmass so that we could get s'mores finally. And we got the s'mores. It was super good. It was a lot of fun, and they had curling that night at the ice skating rink. My boyfriend is really into that. He was watching that on the Olympics. He was really excited about that. So then so that was like the end of the day, and then the next day that we were there, we had to leave. We had to be at the airport at like 11, and we got to the airport on time and just fine and everything. While we were there at the Aspen airport, it was like 10 minutes before they were going to start boarding our plane. Our flight got canceled. I've never dealt with a canceled flight ever before in my life, and so I was like kind of freaking out. I didn't know what to do, but we went up to the American Airlines counter. Oh, I also forgot to mention, sorry, the night before we were going to leave. Let me back up. I need to back up because I'm forgetting things. So the night before we were going to leave, we went cross-country skiing. I've never skied before in my life. I had no idea what to expect. I almost fell. There was a point where I was just like flying. It was insane. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know if I'll go cross-country skiing again. It was a good experience to like do it, but it was like a lot. But we rented like the skis from the rec center, and it was actually free. So that was exciting. Surprisingly, a large amount of free things to do in Snowmass and Aspen, so that was kind of cool. The next morning, we all went to Aspen, and we went to the thrift store again, and we went to some souvenir shops that we had not seen the other 2 times that we had been there, because we were kind of like looking for other things before. So we went to some souvenir shops. That was really fun. That was really cool. I almost got like an Aspen ball cap, but I decided against it, just because it didn't feel like the right one, right? So I didn't get that. Then we made it to the airport, and when we made it to the airport, it was 10 minutes before our flight was going to start boarding. It got canceled. I had never dealt with a canceled flight before, so I had no idea what to do, but we went up to the American Airlines desk, and there's like a million people there because it's such a small airport, and thankfully they were like super nice and they were helping us. But they were also trying to board another flight. So they had like gotten part of our party rebooked, and we ended up having to go to Dallas rather than like going to Chicago. And that was like a whole thing. They were like really helpful. We thought we weren't all going to be able to go on that flight together. They made it happen because I was on the phone with a representative from American Airlines, but then we were also talking to somebody at the desk, and then finally they were just like, can we just talk together? And I was like, yes, please. Like, I don't know what's going on. So they got that all figured out. They got us where we needed to go, and we ended up going to Dallas rather than Chicago. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. So we made it to Dallas. At this point, we were all like starving because our flight had gotten delayed. Then we went to a different place, whatever. So we ended up going to McDonald's. That's where this is from. And the guy we were talking to at McDonald's was actually from Michigan originally, so we were talking about the Lions. If you're from Michigan, then you know. From there, we had like a 2-hour layover, and so we were kind of just like eating and waiting. And initially we were supposed to get into DTW, I want to say like at 9 p.m. No, at 8 p.m. But then with all of the flight changes, we were going to get there at 9:30. And then when we were in Dallas, they delayed our flight again. And we ended up getting onto that plane. Dallas was like an hour before Michigan time. I think we got on that plane at like 8:30, and it like didn't leave till 9:30. We didn't land until like almost midnight our time, and then we parked at US Park, and so we had to do like the whole thing, right? So it just like took a really long time to get back. This is what I was looking for. Okay, I hope these all fit. Okay, for whatever reason, this E was like atrociously ginormous. But I think I'm just gonna like bedazzle this up a little bit, because I think I have like the main things on it that I wanted to put on it. But now I'm gonna add like stickers and maybe some, I have some ribbon, so maybe like I'll put some ribbon on there. But I have like the main things on there that I wanted to put on there. So maybe I'll do like a quick little like time lapse of me adding those things on. All right, I think that that's it. I had a lot of fun in Aspen. I had a lot of fun in Snowmass. I would definitely go again, but I thought Aspen was super cool. Colorado itself was super cool, and I had a lot of fun. So this is the spread, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this and kind of like recapping the trip. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!